Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a monster analysis on the newest and latest monster, light mythic monster, Illion. And this monster is going to be available in the tail event, which from my understanding is likely going to be like those previous events where we need to watch videos, play the dungeons, accumulate 5 of each item, so total 25 items, and then we'll be able to do a progressive event to get the monster. That's at least my understanding as of time recording this video, so if that is the case, that's pretty nice because from what I did with the previous event, we will be able to get this monster for as little as 149 gems, which is awesome for a brand new mythic monster. So if you are interested in this analysis, if you're interested in this monster, definitely wait for tomorrow and you're going to see a level 150 gameplay of this monster. But also, as of time recording this video, my advice to everyone would be to start saving some gems so you can make sure you get this monster. With that being said, let's jump right into the Monster Legends lore. One of the 3 adventurers, Armel, had been sick for months. The druids told him they could cure him with a potion, but to prepare it they needed an herb that could only be found in a hidden dark corner of the forest. Armel's friends Ravish and Furious Robin immediately offered to go and get the herbs themselves. The 2 friends were approaching the forest when they realized they'd entered a labyrinth. "Oh, I know exactly where we are. We're in trouble, Robin," said Ravish. "This labyrinth structure was built by villagers to contain Jazzastar, a dangerous beast who's now imprisoned here. If we move, it's a gamble, because he could find the exit or fall into the jaws of the beast." "I have something that may help us, but I don't know how it is," said Furious Robin, pulling something out of his bag. "My grandmother..." "Oh, I don't know how it works." I'm like, that sentence didn't make sense. Pulling something out of his bag. "My grandmother once gave me this amulet. She told me to use it whenever I felt lost." Suddenly, oh, you know what? This monster, if I am correct, and this monster is the tail monster where there's a progressive island, it's also possible that maybe there's going to be a new diamond relic with this monster? Anyhow, suddenly a monster appeared in front of them. He introduced himself as Illion and told them he would use the power of light to help them. The 2 friends didn't have to wait long to understand what he meant. Illion lit up the way out, blinded Jazzastar so he couldn't attack them, and guided them right to the spot where the herb they needed to cure Armel grew. It was a true miracle. "Illion, what will you do now that you're here?" asked Ravish as he and Furious Robin parted ways with their savior. "Whenever a good soul feels lost or trapped, I'll be there to light the way." That is a really great ending line. Whoever wrote this, fantastic ending. I gotta say, this monster is, in my opinion, the most realistic, one of the best designs in the game. Just look at that artwork, it is incredible. So here we have Illion, fantastic monster design. Like I said, brand new light mythic monster. There's some skills there, you can see the stats ranked up, and let's see what it says. Illion is a control light monster, oh very interesting, that reduces enemies' accuracy and damage. He can apply total damage reduction and total blind to his enemies, or hit with daze, sunburn, blinding when attacked. So this is very interesting. It's they're labeling him as a control monster, although in actuality, the total blind, that's not an actual control trait. For example, if you face a Unqueue, if you face the brand new monster Kaltsu, who has immunity to control, you can still total blind. You can't land possession, you can't land stun, you can't land freeze, you can't transfer them into a baby, but total blind is not an actual control skill. You can actually chain control blind, right? You've never seen a monster get total blinded and then it says immunity to blind. That's not how it works. So just wanted to throw that out there. He can remove negative effects from himself and gain a photophobic shield, and with another one of his attacks, he can remove positive effects from the enemies and gain an extra turn. Wow, this monster is looking very powerful. Illion has an evolving trait. At rank 0, he's hardened. At rank 1, he becomes immune to stun. Permanent immune to stun, very nice. And at rank 3, he gains true vision at the start of every battle. So basically, if you have this monster at rank 3, that first attack you dish, it's always going to land. At rank 1, immune to stun. I mean, that just helps you out so much, right? If you fight Unspeakable, Unspeakable has a single stun skill. If you fight Cat UFO has a stun skill. Very, very nice. I'm liking this so far. And so here we have Illion. And let's get right into the stats. So this monster has a life stat of 57,908, which is funny because it is right around the middle, but I say it's funny because this is one more HP stat than Aromel, Zavipit, Miserus, and Van Decken. So it's funny that it has just this one little extra HP stat, which makes him have more life than those 4 monsters I just mentioned. In terms of power, this monster has 5313, and that is one of the lowest powers in the game, especially for mythic monsters, right? 5313, yeah, it's just second from the bottom in terms of low power stats, so clearly this monster is not meant to attack. And as for speed stat, we have 4862, and this is actually really fast. It's the 3rd fastest stat. It's actually tied with that of Zorky, the May Golden Legends Pass monster. It's lower than the mythic monsters that have a speed stat of 48.75, which are Morgs, Froma, and Miseris. And of course, the fastest monster as of the time recording this video is still Blaz, who has 48.95. So overall, I mean, this is a speedy monster. In terms of the relics, this monster can hold the Staff Relic and the Amulet Relic. So who knows, we might be seeing some sort of Illion Amulet coming up. And I mean, these are really good relic slots, especially with the staff being able to hold a Cane of Atlantis. You don't really need to worry about your stamina being drained if you have Cane of Atlantis. In terms of books, this monster is a winged monster, a spirits monster, and a good legions monster. And with that being said, let's talk about the skills. So tier 1, Friendly Slap, deals heavy special damage to an enemy, applies total damage reduction to one enemy, requires cooldown. So 50 damage, 2 turn cooldown, 40 stamina cost. Total damage reduction, I think right now in the world of mythic monsters, is actually quite powerful. Because, for example, let's say you're facing a rank 5, a level 150 Arumal, Armor Claw, Cyber Owl most likely because that's a team race monster. If that monster is going to go next in the turn order, it's very nice that maybe this monster, because you're faster, you'd be able to go and slap that total damage reduction so that they can't hit you, right? They can't do the perfect system and wipe you out, save Rossi God and wipe you out. Nope, they got hit with a total damage reduction. That makes their damage output absolutely 0. Tier 1 Untrue Vision deals heavy light damage to an enemy, implies blind, sunburn, and daze. Whoa! Okay, so I like to consider anything that reduces accuracy as a soft deny. So blind reduces accuracy by 50%, sunburn by 15%, daze by 25%. When you add all those up, it's probably like a 72% reduction, maybe like a 67% reduction. Nonetheless, fantastic accuracy reduction. The enemy's going to be missing their attacks. So it's cool because you might as well, I guess I can kind of see why they consider this control monster. You're controlling the enemy by making sure their attacks miss against your team. And in True Vision, you have a single target in tier 1. I'm assuming you're going to have an AoE version in tier 3. But basically, if there's a dodge area monster, works perfect against them. Or if you just need to target that one enemy monster, there you go, Untrue Vision. Very nice. All Ears removes all negative effects from itself. Applies Photophobic Shield to itself. I mean, pretty straightforward. It's a self-cleansing skill that also applies Photophobic Shield to protect you from special-based attacks. Wait, Photophobic, is that... Sorry, wait, Photophobic Shield. You can't take any damage unless it's from a light-based attack. So, which is nice because you're a light-based monster. So, even when you do take damage, you take 50% less damage. So, sorry, again, just to clarify, Photophobic Shield is the one where you take no damage unless it is a light-based attack. And because you're a light monster, it's going to be 50% weaker. Flashy Fox deals heavy dark damage. Very interesting. Applies total blind to one enemy monster. So even though this is a light monster, this monster actually has a dark based attack. So now you'd have an elemental advantage over an earth monster if you wanted to. That's pretty cool that you have your own elemental weakness. And anyhow, it applies total blind. So if you need to reduce full accuracy of an enemy monster, you can fully blind them. Or if you need to reduce their damage output, you have the total damage reduction with Friendly Slap. Moving on to tier 3, we have Cunning Trick. Removes positive effects from one enemy, gives one extra turn to itself. And this is actually quite powerful because right now the biggest issue, the absolute biggest issue with the mythic monsters is not being able to remove positive effects, right? If there's an enemy mythic monster, like, or actually right now, as of time recording this video, Miseris' skill got buffed to where now instead of applying space time to the monster that gets resurrected, it's now evasion. So can you imagine having this monster and being able to do Cunning Trick, remove the evasion from the monster that just got resurrected, and then being able to attack the monster? That's awesome. Also, as of the time recording this video, the only mythic monster that has anticipation is a Miseris. So you would realistically be able to do Cunning Trick, remove anticipation from the enemy Miseris, and then feel free to do another attack. So definitely the fact that Cunning Trick removes positive effects, even though it's only just from one enemy monster, the fact that you can remove and then attack, that's awesome. And since we're still in the meta of Megaton monsters, the fact that you can fight a Izel, fight a Dunraw, do Cunning Trick, get rid of their Megatons, and then blast everyone with the AoE, that's awesome as well. So definitely this monster has a lot of usability, even with this skill right here. And then tier 3, Did You Miss Me, deals moderate light damage to enemies, applies Sunburn, Daze, Blind, there it is. So completely reducing the enemy accuracy. So yeah, again, I don't know if I fully agree with this being a control light monster, because again, by game standards, by the definition of SocialPoint, a control skill is really the stun, the freeze, the possession, because otherwise a monster that has the trait immune to possession, immune to control, should also be immune to total blind. But with that being said, I'm not going to argue with that because this is fantastic. If you've ever fought against a monster that blinds you, honestly, even blind alone, you're going to be missing attacks, because a lot of the skills already don't have a full accuracy, right? single target attacks having 95% accuracy, AoEs have a 90% accuracy, and then imagine on top of that being blinded, which is minus 50% accuracy, being dazed, minus 25% accuracy, being sunburned, minus 15% accuracy, and daze also reduces damage output, and sunburn is also taking away some of your HP. That is incredible. Utility-wise, in terms of skills, I think for a long time, and this is like a new era, like this month of May, it's a new era for Mythic Monsters. The biggest issue, if I can say the word issue, with Mythic Monsters has always been the skill set really hasn't been up to par, right? It's been very basic, very like deals light damage and applies a sunburn, deals fire damage and applies a burn. Very basic skills, but now we're starting to see more of that total blind, more of that sunburn, more of that like everything combined into one. Sunburn, daze, blind, remove positive effects, extra churn, a different elemental attack with the total blind. It's very interesting. So in terms of skill set, this Mythic Monster has one of the best usabilities, I would say. If you can get this monster to at least rank 1 to get that stun immunity, that would be awesome. And honestly, I think this monster, at least for the time being, this is going to be one of the more powerful Mythic Monsters, because a lot of the Mythic Monsters that we're seeing right now, Quazzlecroc, for example, immunity to control, the Raised Monster having immunity to 2 of the controls, you know, your random Mythic being immune to a freeze, to a stun, to a possession, even this monster being immune to stun, having instead the Sunburn, Daze, Blind, that's probably more powerful than just having like a single immunity. So I gotta say, for the players that get this monster and take it to rank 3+, it's definitely going to be a formidable Mythic Monster moving forward. Oh, the ultimate deals heavy light damage to enemies, applies total damage reduction and total blind and evasion to your team. That is a fantastic ultimate. The enemy's damage output is reduced, they're total blinded, and then on top of that, you yourself get evasion. So you're like, it's a guaranteed, it's the ultimate support skill, protection, right? That's awesome. I love the ultimate. And again, I love the monster design. In terms of how you rune this monster, this is the type of monster you rune 2 ways. If you can go first in the turn order, you go first and you land that blind. You use Did You Miss Me against the enemy. You go there and you reduce everyone's accuracy. Or if you're going first in the turn order, you do, which one was it? Flashy Fox, and you total blind the enemy monster. Let's say you're facing a cat UFO who can AoE stun. Nope, you're gonna blind. Right, so you go 3 speed and you immobilize the enemy by reducing their accuracy. The second way to rune this monster is still kind of with like 2 speed and a team speed maybe. You do this in a scenario where the enemy's gonna go first and you can't do anything. Only if you're at least rank 1 and the enemy's main deny is stun. Because if the enemy goes and tries to stun you, at least you know you won't get stunned. And then again you do Did You Miss Me and you reduce the enemy's accuracy. So that's another way to rune this monster. The final way to rune this monster, and it really depends what league you're in, what kind of opponents you have, what kind of monster you can synergize with, is to make this monster a team speed holder. And this monster is there to go 3rd in the turn order. So this is probably to the players that have already a rank 3 or rank 4 mythic from the race or from other events. So assuming you have like more powerful mythic monsters to use, like maybe you buy the Golden Legends Pass and you have a rank 3 Cat UFO, you have a rank 3 Gaidaigo. Well then those are your main deny monsters, you have them go first, and then you have Illion go last in the turn order, and that way Illion can do whatever you need. If you need to remove a positive effect, you do a Cunning Trick. If you need to reduce your accuracy, you end off by reducing their accuracy. If you need to protect yourself, you choose that Photophobic Shield. So that's kind of how this monster works. Either team speed holder, or as a 3 speed holder, and going first and immobilizing, or again, going team speed and supporting. Overall, gotta say, really like this monster. Super interested in all the monsters SocialPoint has been releasing in the month of May. I am definitely seeing the change in the meta coming to Monster Legends. So definitely May, June, July, I think is going to be super interesting because we're just seeing a brand new wave of traits and of skills. So I'm excited about this monster, especially if this is the kind of monster we can get for 149 gems. So I'm looking forward to it, but that's my analysis. Now I want to hear from all of you guys. Tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think about Illion, and who has been your favorite mythic monster thus far? Thank you guys very much, and remember to subscribe.